Welcome to your end of tenancy procedures. Today we'll show you around a property and let you know what we expect for it to come back as, the right condition, things you need to do to tell your providers, the best way to help yourself as a tenant and us as a council. We'll head in the property now and we'll show you around. The most important thing to remember when you're emptying your property is to make sure nothing is left behind. Each of your rooms needs to be free of all furniture, items, and if need be, flooring as well. You'll have an appointment with a void support officer should you need to, and we'll let you know what items can, if they're able to, stay in the property, and what items definitely need to be removed as well. Another important thing to remember when you're leaving your property is to make sure you take both your gas and your electric meter readings. This is to ensure that you aren't charged any more than you need to by your current suppliers. Your meters will vary in how they take your readings, but just make sure you go back to your suppliers and they can tell you how to take them. When you leave your property, to ensure there's no accidental leaks or damage, make sure you locate and turn off your stop tap for the water. Most properties, 9 times out of 10, you'll find them in the kitchen located under the sink. Some of our flats, you may have them in the bathroom, and sometimes they'll be in maybe the bedroom where the boiler is, or in your front room. Another important but optional step is to get a postal redirect put on your property. That means any mail you get to here will come to you for the next 3 months and you don't miss any important documents or letters coming to your property. All you need to do is go onto the Royal Mail website and pay about £30 and everything will come to you. It takes a week to set up, but it's really helpful. As previously mentioned, you do need to make sure your property is free from all items. This does include your loft space, so everything needs to be taken out of there. Any items that you leave, you will be liable for a recharge for removal. This will also include your shed spaces which you have outside the properties. And once you've cleared them, please make sure you return your shed keys by leaving them in the property for us to collect when everything's done. Much like inside your property, outside your property is equally important. You must make sure you have done a full garden cut and clearance before you leave the property. This means all your garden furniture, any green waste, and if you've put your own shed up, you may be asked to remove that as well. If you put your own flower beds or flower pots or any shrubberies, you may be asked to just trim those down before you leave to make it nice and ready for us to get the new tenants into the property. Making sure your property is secure is really important to ensure no damage to the property itself and no liability for you as tenants either. Make sure your windows and your doors are all locked and secured before you leave. To avoid any potential recharges for cleaning, make sure a small domestic clean is done of your property before you leave. This can be part of your clearance of the property when you remove your items. If you have any third-party medical equipment, for example from LRS Healthcare, please ensure you've contacted them to arrange a collection of items, as we may be unable to do this. On the final day of your tenancy, remember to make sure you drop your keys back to City Hall. You can do this by either going into City Hall and seeing our staff at reception and obtaining a key receipt, or you can drop them into the post box labelled Voids on the Orchard Street side of the building. If your keys are later than midday, you will be charged the full week's rent. If there's a bank holiday on the Monday, they need to be by midday on the Tuesday of that week. It's important to ensure your communal door keys are also returned, whether they be key or fob. They are charged at £15.50 per key should you require secondary keys at the start of your tenancy, and you are charged per key the same price if they're not returned.